Hi, welcome to the Sales Strategies for Christian Coaches podcast. I'm Justin Janowski, your host, and I started my first coaching business in 2012. I had one paying client. I was out of business. 3 years later in 2015, I had 3 paying clients when I tried again and was out of business. And then 3 years after that, I did over $250,000 in revenue my first year running Faith to Influence. And since then, we've worked with over 1,000 clients. We've done millions of dollars in sales and accomplished so many goals. And I'm aware that God's provision is the biggest part of this, the biggest factor in this. The other thing that happened between those first 2 attempts where it didn't quite work out for me in that third attempt was I mastered my sales skill set. I got a great mentor and I worked inside of a business where I could learn to build a system around sales and marketing to consistently have success as a coach running my business. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm helping other Christian coaches optimize their strategies around sales, their signature offers, marketing, and more so that they can fulfill their entrepreneurial dreams and answer the calling that God's put on their hearts. If that's you, I'm glad that you found your way to the podcast. Today, I want to talk about something I think is really important. As this episode's airing, it's New Year's Eve. It's a good time to really think through what we want to be about for the next year. And if you're listening to this after the new year, great. You can do this anytime. You can decide what you want to be about and who you want to be as you show up in your business, as you show up in the marketplace, as you show up for your calling, and as you show up in life. And so today I want to talk about overcoming fear through preparation. I know many coaches, many entrepreneurs are stuck at the starting line because they're afraid. They're afraid to be seen. They're afraid to market. They're afraid to book sales calls. They're afraid to hear no. And all of these kinds of things are preventing them from having the success they'd otherwise have. All of these things are causing self-sabotage. All of these things are causing people to be busy, but not really productive with sales-focused activities. There's really a sales avoidance. And by the way, I can relate to all of this. I've done all of it before. And so if you're like, yeah, that's me, know that you're in good company with so many others. I want to share a story, though. My daughter, Grace, has been preparing for some spelling bees. And I remember a few weeks ago, she came home from school and she said, Mom, Dad, there's going to be a spelling bee at school. And we get to choose whether or not we want to compete in it. And it was 2 days later. And she said, I don't want to do it. I'm scared. What if I make a mistake? What if I'm embarrassed? What if I don't know a word that I'm asked to spell? And she was genuinely afraid and did not want to join the spelling bee. And we had a really meaningful conversation and asked her some questions. And ultimately, I asked her the question if she wants to be the kind of person who misses out on opportunities because she's scared, or does she want to be the kind of person who perseveres, who overcomes, who prepares so that she can be brave and do things, take action on opportunities even when they're scary. And ultimately, she decided she wanted to be the kind of person who would pursue things that were scary. She wanted to be the person who would overcome her fears. She wanted to be brave. And one of the things that we both recognized she needed to be able to do that was to prepare. She needed to prepare enough so that she could show up with enough confidence to overcome her fear. That didn't mean that preparation took away all of the fear. The preparation still existed with some fear, but it was enough to overcome much of that fear. And so 2 days later, after we practiced a bunch of times, she competed in the spelling bee in her classroom. There were 50 words for us to practice. We drilled them a lot. We spent a lot of time on it. She invested in it. She believed in herself. We prayed about it. And she competed in that spelling bee. And if that's all she did, I would have been so proud of her that she was bold enough to overcome her fear and compete in the spelling bee and take action on an opportunity. And she did great. She got all the words right that she was given that day. And she was top 3 in her class, which meant she got to go on to the next round and be part of a bigger spelling bee at school with some of the other classrooms. And that was really exciting. That meant that we got to keep studying, keep practicing, keep preparing for this next bigger opportunity. And so over the last couple of weeks, we've practiced over and over and over and over. And the most amazing thing has happened. And today she's competing again in the next round of the spelling bee. And the truth is, she doesn't seem scared. I'm sure she'll feel nervous when it comes time to actually spell in front of everybody else. But at home, all she's been talking about is how excited she is and how much she loves the spelling bee now and can't wait. And she said this morning with her friend at the school drop-off line, I hope I get asked first. Her friend was like, I hope I'm not first. And Grace is like, I want to be first. She's ready because she's prepared. And that preparation has led to confidence and made it easier for her to overcome her fear. And now she actually looks forward to and enjoys the thing that she was once so afraid to do that she wanted to opt out on altogether. And I think this is a story that most entrepreneurs need to hear. Because if you're like me and you're like most entrepreneurs I know, most coaches I know, it's possible that you've had moments where you thought about giving up because you were scared. It's possible that you're in a moment right now, even as you listen to this podcast episode, where you're wondering, should you keep doing this? Or should you just hang it up? Should you opt out of the competition that is entrepreneurship, out of the competition that is sales? I know a reality that for many coaches, you didn't decide to be a coach because you wanted to be an entrepreneur or you wanted to do sales. It was about helping people. And maybe it was even a surprise to you. Oh no, I have to do sales now. And many of my clients, many of my prospects, many of the people who are following this podcast and this mission at Faith to Influence, many of them are afraid of sales. And it might be you. You might recognize that you've had this fear and it's prevented you from going all in. And it's caused you to play small. And it's caused you to contemplate giving up or quitting altogether. And for some of you, it's kept you stuck at the starting line. As Johnny Wan would say, it's the start that stops most people. And if this is you and you're listening to this today, I hope that you'll be like Grace. I hope that you'll make a decision that you want to be the kind of person who pursues opportunities even when you're scared. I hope that you decide today that you're the kind of person who wants to be bold and brave and courageous and overcome your fears so that you can achieve your goals. And if you decide that you're that person, that that's who you want to be, the next step oftentimes is preparation. And what I want to tell you is if you prepare, if you work hard, if you develop your skill set, if you study, if you get a mentor, if you get some great trainings around sales and you study and you prepare and you practice and you study and you prepare and you practice, as you prepare, of course, your confidence is going to go up. And even though you'll still be nervous in those first sales calls or those next sales calls, if you've prepared, it'll be easier for you to overcome. And once you do find yourself overcoming and making sales and having success, and you shift your identity around sales or whatever it is that you're afraid of, just like Grace shifted her identity around the spelling bee, you might get to that same place Grace did, where now, at some point in the future, you have a moment where you say, well, I'm not scared anymore. I'm excited. I can't wait for my next sales call. I want to go first. I actually like sales calls. Like Grace said, I actually like the spelling bee now. This can be your story too. I hope as you listen to this that it inspires you like Grace inspired me over the last few weeks. I hope it's the reminder that you need to choose the kind of person that you want to be, specifically choosing to be that person who's going to overcome your fear. And then once you've made that decision, to choose to prepare. If you want to prepare in a way that allows you to overcome your fear and have more success, I would love for you to join us in the Land More Coaching Clients Masterclass. We're going to specifically tackle the 3 fears, the 3 biggest mental blocks that Christian coaches have that stop them from engaging in sales, embracing sales, and having success. We're going to overcome some of those fears together in a free masterclass. It's 90 minutes. It's amazing. I would love for you to join us. We're actually running this masterclass weekly right now. We probably won't forever. And if you're listening to this, go to the URL I'm going to give you here in a second and check it out and see if we're still running. If that page is active, you can come join us. And I know as you're listening to this, if you're listening to it right away, that we've got a masterclass ready for you to come and join us, spend 90 minutes overcoming your fear and beginning the work of preparation so that you can be more confident and you can finally have the success that you were called to in your coaching business. To join us in that masterclass, go to landcoachingclients.com. landcoachingclients.com. I would love to see you there. God bless you. Let's be who we want to be in the world. Let's be an example to our kids. Let's overcome our fears. You can do this. God bless you. Talk to you again soon. Cheers.